What's up, guys? How are you today? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some new upgrades in my 8.1 truck here that I've got built. Just recently got the truck back from the transmission shop that I trust to do all my work. I usually don't mess with rear ends, transfer cases, or transmissions. I can take them in and out, change them, but I don't like going inside and messing with the guts and the gears. So Rick Rude's transmission took full care of this truck and got me back on the road and geared up. But what happened was, and I'm sorry that the video quality isn't very good, and a lot of it never even got caught on camera, but there was a video a while back. I had this stuck in a friend of mine's yard who I delivered wood to, and it was snowy and messy, and I give the truck a pretty good scorching that day, so it's kind of my own fault. But what I want to talk about is before I even did any gear swaps at all to this truck, when it was just the factory 410s with the G80 locker in the back, I actually had the same problem with two of those before I re-geared the third one. The third one recently I destroyed over in this yard that I just told you about. So now we are on rear end number 4 in this truck. But that being said, I've had it, a long time. I've had this truck now like 7-8 years, and most of the time when I broke it, I just replaced it with cheap factory parts that weren't really, any better than what I took out, other than they worked properly and weren't broken yet. So over in Dale's yard, what happened was, when I got home with the truck, the rear end was locked up and it was scuffing and going on. When I made corners in the driveway, I'll show you the video. So as you can see, the old GMC's got some rear diff issues once again. This is the third time I've done this to 3 different rear ends. Now before I just had 410 stock gears, now I've got 513s, so I can't just throw this rear end, switch to another one without changing my gears, and I'm tired of the same thing breaking. So this thing is going up to Rick Rude's transmission, and he's ordered me a Yukon Grizzly locker for this thing, and he said that'll be the last time we ever got to mess with this gear in the rear end. It'll be a proper posi, not broken, snapping, grinding stuff. Watch this just for funnies. I'm not sure what's in there rattling around. It's probably whatever went through my pinion bearing. So what you see there is all new shiny bolts, and what we did was, I talked with Rick at Rick Rude's, and I said, this is numerous time this has happened, blah blah blah. Said I want to fix this and fix it for good, so let's put something in there that's more durable, that shouldn't break. So first of all, well, I guess let's run it. You've seen the box. What we have here is the Eaton Performance Differential Detroit True Trac locker. So this thing is pure gear driven. There's no clutch packs, and this thing is supposed to be a beast, and so far it's proven that it is. I've already been using the truck in muddy situations. As you see, there's all kinds of mud caked on the back of the trailer from a little bit of spinning. But this rear end It doesn't scuff when I'm making corners on the road or whatever. It seems to behave well that way. But literally the second one tire decides to spin, the other one grabs. I had to back in and hook on the trailer, and I tried doing it a few times in two-wheel drive where I'm at. And literally as soon as any slippage occurs, so you actually don't even feel this lock in or do anything. It's just literally the second the tire slips, the other one grabs. Where this factory locker a lot of times would only spin one wheel, and then you'd have to stop, put your brakes on, let the other wheel grab or let it kick in, and then away you go the second time. But like I say, I've busted a few of these things now. This is number 3. And I'm not sure exactly what breaks into them, but basically they just decide to lock themselves in. And quite frankly, I'm done with that. So this piece was the original trouble that broke. It stuck in posi. Oh look, the wind's gonna pick up. My apologies there. So anyway, instead of towing the truck, because this thing's big and heavy, it was still drivable. It wasn't making any crazy noises. It was just locked in. I decided to drive it to the shop, which is probably, let's say, a 35-mile run. And right before I got to the shop, the truck started making some nasty noises. And what happened was a piece of metal or a piece of something out of this carrier that locked in came out, went through my pinion, then it split the pinion bearing right to pieces, and it ruined my set of 513 gears, which these gears were in the truck for a while, but I had purchased these gears new. So you know, kind of my own fault in that sense, because I should have towed it once this failed. But again, I really didn't want to spend that kind of money to try to get this thing on a flat deck and get a heavy enough flat deck to do it with our road restrictions and whatnot. So anyway, this failure happened after this failed, so this could have been prevented is what I'm trying to say. But long story short, where this failed and this failed, since we put good gear in, I don't have the boxes, but the new ring and pinions, instead of just being aftermarket ones off Amazon, we now have the Yukon Gear 513s installed in this truck as well. So all said and done, I was out a bit of money to fix this rear end. If anyone's interested in the real numbers, I could, you know, respond to your message or whatever. But needless to say, we're just shy of 3K, actually a little over 3K to do this and have it done properly. And also we put all new bearings and seals in. So literally this rear end is completely rebuilt once again, but now with really good performance parts. Basically the only thing factory in there now is the axle shafts, which I never had any trouble with before, so hopefully those won't be a weak link. But this here, I've busted numerous of these, and I keep clean fluid in my truck and stuff, so big power. If you're using these heavy, that locker is going to give you trouble someday or another. And when I installed the 513s initially in this truck and left this locker in, this was the only thing that was on touch. So instead of, I should have just bought this piece right from the get-go, is basically what I'm saying. But anyway, lesson learned. Truck's back up and running, working great, and I am super happy with the way this locker performs. It's the one that I wanted. There's another one that's made with clutch packs and stuff inside. I didn't want to go that route, so anyway, very happy with the way this all turned out.